listening to Mogul Talk with Marah. Welcome to Mogul Talk with Marah, where we will dive into the brains and stories of moguls so that we can craft our own journey to success. I'm really excited to have you all here today watching. We got the Instagram live crew also watching. They in the building. Today, I'm just going to be kind of introducing you guys to this series. This is so exciting. I'm like really nervous. Like, this is my first solo episode of Mogul Talk with Marah. Recently, I got to do 2 panels in collaboration with Black Coffee Atlanta, Black Coffee Festival. Shout outs to the Black Coffee Squad. I love y'all so much. I got to do a collaboration where I got to take Mogul Talk live. So those are technically the first 2 episodes. They have not released yet, but I'm planning on releasing them, doing something really special with them. But I am just so excited. I'm so excited to finally kick this off, to finally just get the things going. You know what I'm saying? Over the past weekend, time flies so quickly, but over the past weekend or last 2 weekends or something, I was just in Miami, Florida for the podcast summit created by David Shands. He put together this entire weekend of experts, podcast experts, YouTube growth experts, all coming in order to share their stories and to teach us, right? And I had such a great time. It was no fluff. They were really about what they were talking about. I have a journal full of notes that I need to dive into. But basically, one of my key takeaways from that was the consistency, the showing up, it has to happen, and you can't wait for things to be perfect in order to launch things. Otherwise, you'll never start. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, here we are on the first solo episode. Okay, and again, for my Instagram live crew, you guys are watching live. I'm also filming over here, so if you see my eyes looking, in this direction, just know, we here. Today, we are going to be doing a Q&A session. So I asked you guys on Instagram, if you guys had any questions about what it is I do, about, just my thoughts in general. I thought a Q&A would be a great way to kind of break the ice with us a little bit. And so with that being said, I do have a couple of questions that people ask me. But before we get started, I have a quote that I want to read to you. So today's quote is, "Be yourself, everyone else is already taken." And that's a quote by Oscar Wilde. I know everybody's heard it. It sounds a little cliche, but really get real with that. You know what I'm saying? You are your own person. You're your own person for a reason. Nobody can be you. So when it comes time to talk your ish, you know what I'm saying, about yourself and show up for yourself, do it because you're being authentically yourself. Not because you're trying to be anybody else, not because you're trying to impress anybody else, but show up because that is what's in your heart to do. So yeah, just kicking us off with that quote. Okay, do you want to jump in really quickly? Come on. So I have my baby boy here too. He's seeing his mommy get to work, doing all the things. Do you have anything that you want to say? Any wisdom that you want to impart to the people?
Can I have a hug?
Of course.
Yeah, can I have some water?
Yeah, go get a water from the back, okay? So first question is content creation. What is my best piece of advice? So when it comes to content creation, as you guys know, I'm super consistent with content creation. You can rarely open up Instagram and not see a picture of me, a video of me floating down your timeline. All of that is extremely intentional. I show up nearly every single day posting something new, and so many people ask me, how are you so consistent? Why do you always have content that you can post? How do you do this, right? And I have my own personal method to creating content that I use, but a lot of it is repurposing. A lot of it is, 1, always recording, but then 2, always repurposing, right? So when I'm always recording, I literally am always recording something. I'll have my phone out. I'll have my camera out sometimes, but it's always on. I'm always like, okay, I'm walking down the street and I'm recording. Oh, I'm stopping to tie my shoe, but I look fly. I'm recording. Oh, I need to reapply my lip gloss. I'm recording. Because here's the thing. When I take those bits and pieces of content, I may not use it that day. I may not use it that week. I may not use it within that 6 months. But best believe when I have a message that's on my heart, or I find a trending audio that I think would be like really cool to use, I have a whole gallery of videos that I'll just scroll through. Oh, I'll choose this one with me putting my lip gloss on. And the trending audio is about having self-confidence. Bet it works. You know what I'm saying? So I think that a lot of people work harder and not smarter. Literally record the tiny moments of life because it's going to be interesting to somebody, like for real. And you can always tell a story through, the different pieces of content that you acquire, that you film or whatever. So yes, that would be my best piece of advice. Always create, always record, and always repurpose. Okay, so let's see. Next question is, okay, so this is another content question that I have. It is, do you plan days to record bulk content? So I love a good content day. I love a good content day. I love a good bulk content creation day. So when it comes to recording bulk content, kind of like I just said, I've almost gotten to the point where my content days are my real life. I don't really do a whole bunch of, like super set up, photo shoot, propped up every single day. Like I don't have to do that anymore because that's the life that I live. I do go do photo shoots. I go to events. I go, co-work at cafes. And so I just record my life. Every day is technically, or it could be a content day for me, right? So when we think of like these content days or bulk recording, bulk, batch creating content, I think that it's great to have those intentional days where you sit down and you create things that you can chop up for the future. But literally every day for me could be a content day just because I always feel like I'm doing something a little interesting. But even if, it's not the most interesting thing in the world, it's still like footage I can use for like B-roll or, whatever the case. So I hope that's helpful. Okay, so next question. Would you rather date someone that's also an entrepreneur or a 9-to-5 individual? So, would I rather date an entrepreneur or someone that's a 9-to-5 individual? That is a great question. I think that the answer to that is, I really honestly think that I prefer to date an entrepreneur just because I feel like as an entrepreneur, another entrepreneur is going to understand why I'm filming at 11:10. You know what I'm saying? Why I'm filming at 11:10 at night and I'm this loud and I'm creating, you know what I'm saying? I feel like another entrepreneur is going to understand why sometimes I'm team no sleep. Cause I got to be on my grind. I got to get the things done that I need to get done. And that's one period. I think an entrepreneur can understand that, my work hours extend beyond a 9-to-5. I'm working all day and all night on different projects that I have going on because this is a part of my dream. Now, do I think that someone who works a 9-to-5 can't understand that? It's not that they can't understand that kind of lifestyle, right? But I also want to be with somebody that I can like create with and create business with. Now, if it makes more sense for somebody to have a 9-to-5 and they're fully understanding of what I got going on and I'm fully understanding of the fact that they do 9-to-5 stuff, like, cool, you know what I'm saying? Cool. That's completely fine, but I just think that an entrepreneur is going to understand a little bit more about, the different kinds of stresses that I go through, the different kinds of wins that I go through. But at the end of the day, like, humans are just humans, and you just got to find the person that's compatible, compatible with you. Like, it's really that simple. So, yes, entrepreneur or 9 to 5. I think, I prefer the entrepreneur, and I prefer the entrepreneur mindset, but it's not for everybody, and I understand that. Okay, so next question is, so who is the first guest? So technically, you guys haven't seen these episodes yet unless you were live at the Black Coffee Festival, where I did my first 2 panels of Mogul Talk with Marah. So my first 2 episodes were actually 2 panels of 6 amazing women. I'm going to be releasing just more information about these episodes coming out really, really soon. You guys are going to get to see more of them and all of the amazing gems that they dropped, man. If y'all missed it, I'm sorry for you. For real. Like, oh my gosh, it was just so exhilarating, that experience. Having, the first panel was women in entrepreneurship. And then the second panel was women in media and entertainment. So if you know me, I was living. I was just like, oh my goodness, these women are everything that, I aspire to be. These women are true moguls, true innovators in their field. And yeah, no, it's really dope. So if you're trying to find out who the first guests are, you could go back and you could look at the flyers, you could look at some of the content that I already posted. Or you could wait for the episodes to release, and they're coming really, really soon, and I'm really excited about that. I wanted to kind of dive into why I'm doing Mogul Talk with Marah, right? So it really started out a couple years ago. I started a podcast called the Marah Live Podcast. And man, it was lit. We were going live every single week on Instagram. I had a new guest every single week, and it was great. It was honestly great. I got to learn so much about, alkaline diets, about why love isn't the answer, about why procrastination is important, like the different topics that we covered, like surviving, abuse, and the different topics that we covered were really impactful, really powerful, and I got to speak to, real human beings that had these amazing stories, right? And had something that they could bring to my audience. I took a break from the Marah Live podcast because I was changing, I was evolving, and I was just like, how can I don't feel like I can continue to show up as my best self and stay committed to this process right now, because I'm growing and I want to do more growing so that I can present more to my audience, right? Was that a great idea? I really don't know. Maybe I just should have stayed consistent. I really don't know. But what I do know is that when trying to kind of bring it back, okay, I'm going to start my Marah Life podcast again. And, I'm going to do the things, and I'm going to schedule the guests. And it did not feel authentic to my soul anymore. And it really had me going through this this imposter syndrome, self-doubt kind of vibe. And I was just like, maybe podcasting isn't for me. Like, maybe I don't need a show. Maybe I don't need to show up and share my story. Maybe it's not that important, right? And it's just not the case. It's just not the case. It's not the truth. It is not my truth. But I knew that doing it in the way that I was doing it before was not going to serve me. It was not going to serve me, and was not going to serve the people that I've been evolving with and the people that I've been growing with, which is you all, So here we are with Mogul Talk with Marah. I think that I got to dive over the past few years a lot more deeply into entrepreneurship. I am a full-time entrepreneur, a full-time creator. My world is modeling, media, marketing. Those are my 3 fields where I just thrive. You know what I'm saying? So with diving into entrepreneurship and full-time entrepreneurship, I'm starting to think of things a lot differently. My parents were entrepreneurs and creatives. So thankfully I have that I have that in me already. I have that as my foundation, right? They've always pushed entrepreneurship and always pushed owning what it is that you create. So with that though, these past couple years, I've been getting older. I have a child now. I have a 4-year-old, right? So that ambition, that drive, it really, really kicked in when I found out that I was pregnant with him. But these past couple years, I've been like, oh no, I need more. I need more. I'm so grateful, God. Like, thank you for what I have, but I need more. Okay. And maybe, I don't know, maybe it's a little capitalistic of me. Maybe it's, worldly of me, but I want a mansion. You know what I'm saying? I want a mansion. I want a really nice house. I want, money. I want to be a multimillionaire. I don't think I want to be a billionaire. Like, I don't think I need that kind of money. But if it happens, I'm not mad at it. Maybe. It just depends on how I do it. I don't know. I got to understand that a lot more. But I want so much in life. I want so much out of life. And abundance is my birthright, just like abundance is your birthright. And so with that being said, I've been able to just dive and dive and dive so much deeper into the world of entrepreneurship, into understanding money, into building my financial IQ, and to understanding, how these moguls work. I've been blessed to be surrounded by just, so many innovators and so many pioneers and leaders in business and finance and entrepreneurship that it would be a disservice if I wasn't able to bring some of that knowledge back to my community, right? Mogul Talk with Marah. I couldn't tell you exactly when Mogul Talk or just Mogul, this budding media mogul thing came about. I'm gonna try to look for that to see. I really don't know when it happened, but it happened. It happened, and that's who I am now. I'm the budding media mogul, and one day I'm just gonna be a media mogul, and budding media moguls will just be this creative community of entrepreneurs and people in media and entertainment. But as of right now, I'm learning alongside you all, right? There's a lot more that I may know in certain realms, but I want for you all to be able to come into my world and help me learn and grow the same way that I want to come into you all's world to help you learn and grow, right? And I want to bring my mentors in. I want to bring the moguls that I've met in to also be a part of this world, be a part of, what I'm trying to really impart into the world, man. For real, there's so many people, especially Black people, people of color, that lack the resources and lack the knowledge, to succeed, to get ahead in life. And I'm trying to bridge those gaps. My overall goal, my overall mission in life, and I've felt this for so long, is to elevate the world into a higher state of consciousness, right? All of these things are tools. Money is a tool, in order to get to greater heights. So with that being said, here's Mogul Talk with Marah. I'm really, really excited to be able to bring you all along on this journey with me. It's been a long time coming, and when I tell you I was just so nervous, and I've been so nervous to get started, but I had to press go. It's not perfect. It's not perfect. It's not perfect. And that's okay. That's okay. We build, we grow. This is a part of the process. But I feel like so often we want to skip the ugly parts of the process. We see the glitz, we see the glam, we see, all of the Instagram entrepreneurs, and they always have new videos coming out, and they always look like they have money, and they can roll up in pink Rolls Royces if they want to. And all of that is great, right? But it leaves us feeling like, okay, I can't put anything out, and I can't present myself to the world until I am able to have my pink Rolls Royce. Then I'll pop out. then I'll pop out and put my content out. And it don't work like that. It literally doesn't work like that. Like, and we all know it on the inside. Like, we know it doesn't work like that. But we get so paralyzed by, overanalyzing ourselves and overanalyzing, like, okay, like, I don't have the best mic. No, this is a good mic. But I don't have the best mic, or I don't have the best technology and lighting and cameras and da-da-da. Now, I'm very fortunate, right, to have been doing this long enough that, like, a first episode like this can look good. I've been creating content and YouTube videos and all that stuff since I was, in high school. And I am years out of college at this point, so I'm fortunate to be able to do so. I understand, how blessed I am to be able to grow up in the world of media and entertainment. I understand this stuff, but don't let your lack of knowledge, right, of camera and tech and set design and, all of the things stop you or block you from, fulfilling your purpose. Like, you gonna let that stop you from fulfilling your purpose? Like, you gonna let something stop you from fulfilling your purpose? Nicki Minaj blink. That don't even make no sense. So I hope that, with this episode, not even just with this episode, but with this series, we'll be able to grow together. I'll be able to teach you what it is that I know, hopefully offer some inspiration, some knowledge, all that good stuff. And, you guys can help me with stuff too. And I'll bring in my moguls, and maybe y'all bring in, your moguls, and we like mix the moguls. Oh my God, that's so funny, because I literally throw an event called the Mogul Mixer. The pieces connect. Sorry, y'all. Ooh, that just felt real good. Okay, anyways. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and end this episode. Okay, hold on. We have a comment. Hopefully I can be a guest one day. I like this. Fire set design too. Shout out to my boy, DC Rock. We met, was it a year ago? 2 years ago at this point? I don't even know, but really dope designer out here in Atlanta, Georgia. But he's nationwide. Shout out to DC Rock. Just super dope. I know Streetwear Fashion Week is coming up that he created, so make sure you guys tune in, tap in, check him out. And thank you, Fire Set Design. Shout out to Pop Up and Create. Pop Up and Create is a multi-purpose content studio and event space right here in the Metro Atlanta area. Okay, so if you guys need to come and create some content, all of this stuff, I pieced it together. I took furniture from other parts of the studio, did my thing, but I managed this studio out here, and, really grateful to the owner, LaShawna West, for giving me the opportunity, to be here and be in this space and create and serve the community in another way, So if you guys are interested in coming to create at Pop Up and Create, just let me know. Shameless plug. Thank you so much for joining this episode, this session, Mogul Talk with Marah. Once again, the purpose of Mogul Talk with Marah is to dive into the brains and the stories of moguls so that we can craft our own journey. Yes. Ooh, I came up with that. Ooh, that's good. That's real good. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, show love, share this with a friend, and do all the other YouTube sharing, podcast sharing thingies, okay? Bye!